and some you lose some. Mostly you lose most. Okay. Hello. Hello, Jen. Welcome, welcome. I am. I don't think I'm on YouTube, but an attempt was made, so we're gonna see. Maybe it'll reboot itself and it's just nice and slow. All right, back to our gorge. Our gorgeous gorge. So here we go. So we have kind of these little bits up here, and then I'm gonna scoot down here. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you'll kind of do one of those ones where like the light is just kind of kicking off right here, but we're gonna see. All right, and then a little bit over here as well. So I often start with kind of just a little bit of a very, very rough, uh, just kind of sketch, and that is really just to give myself a bit of a break. I'm also debating. Here's my pen choices. So I was, let's see if that focuses. So I've been messing with 0.8 because 0.5 feels too small and like 1 feels too big, but I don't know if I don't know if 8 is the Goldilocks solution. And the other thing I'm realizing too is I actually really like small stuff blown up. Like I don't like big small like I like it when it's little and then just zoomed in on. That's like my dream sort of look is like when that like I like that, but I couldn't paint that big. You know, it is the size of a thumbnail. And so I'm learning to kind of lean into that a little bit of just like it's okay to go super small and then appreciate it a little bit bigger as well. So we'll see. There's real crisis of confidence moving from 0.5 to 0.8. Still getting over it. Okay, now I'm gonna go scoot my way right over here. We're gonna add a little bit of these. And this is gonna be kind of our initial, just kind of our initial outline here. There is technically a big, huge cliff here, and it's like got a massive thing on top of it. I don't know if I want to paint it in. I feel like I probably should. Let's do it. Okay. I really get annoyed when people miss landmarks where I live, so I feel like the Oregonians would be like, "Hey, why'd you skip our cliffs?" But there's like a house thing like right here, or it's like probably a big CCC project of some lookout or viewpoint. But all right, here we go. Yeah, put a couple here. There we are. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. Chat is up and running on YouTube. Oh, chat is up and running on YouTube. Oh, it is. Oh, great. Okay, cool. We have been I've been struggling with technology lately, and it is okay. Great. Ta-da. And I think what I did is I did the classic turn it off and then turn it on again. So I think that's hopefully gonna work out. Hello, Chelsea. I am like technology and I just kind of need to get into a point where I like just know sort of what I'm doing, and that's actually been a lot of my life is just like I'll get in these little moments, these little fits of inspiration, and then I'll fuss with something enough to learn it, and then that'll be it. And I'll have a really hard time learning stuff after then. So I've kind of learned to lean into those little moments of I'm feeling inspired right now, and it's like this. You have this limited amount of time, but then if you can get through it, then all of a sudden you're in good shape. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, or for a lot of people, good evening. I work in tech, and you'd be shocked at how often solutions are turn it off and turn it back on again. Well, isn't that like with people too? I mean, like so often it'll be a solution of just like you just need to go to bed. You just need to go to bed, deal with it in the morning. Like not with everything, obviously, but like so much of it is just like go get some sleep. That is all you need is just go and get some sleep and everything's going to work out and it's going to be fine. Just go sleep. Not talking from personal experience. Totally talking from personal experience. Okay, so Columbia River Gorge, we're just adding little bits here. There's a lot of detail that I am not going to put in here just because. Hey, Cap. Speaking of going to sleep, I am painting right now. You want to see? It's not super interesting right now. It's going to be kind of boring. You can see it if you want, but you want to see it? Okay, I'll lift you up here and see it. Here, and then it is nice and warm in here. I have a heater, Thanks. Just a real fan right there. I could probably show him a blank sheet of paper and he'd be like, amazing. I'll have it finished here in just a sec. You want to keep on going outside and do some playing? No, okay. But yeah, in so many ways, it's like yeah, just turn it off and turn it back on again. Life will reset itself. Hey Max, how are you? Thanks for the raid the other day. I appreciate. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, I love like seeing people make real stuff. It's so cool. Not that iPad stuff isn't real, but I think it's so neat. What like seeing people's process is really cool stuff. And welcome. We are doing good right now. Currently painting the Columbia River Gorge. Just gotta get a couple little watercolors in for this impact report that I'm working on with Keen, which would be really fun. We're watercolor illustrating the whole thing, which is gonna be really cool. But I just painted a ton of shoes, so these are kind of I have photos of like the process of sketching them as well. So kind of trying to capture everything from the maps to the shoes, but it's gonna kind of come down to the wire. I think they're supposed to be all done tonight. So we're really gonna kind of push that. Yes, Kip. I don't think we're doing any hot cocoa right now, but if you go inside, you might. I don't. Maybe it's tea time soon. Why don't you go inside and see if it's tea time? What do you think of that? Just negotiating with 3-year-olds right now. Hot cocoa. Oh, I see. Just got. Let's see how to fix the broken machine. How to fix the broken machine. Play soccer. Okay, see you, Kip. Yeah, I got the whole watercolor sketch, and I got the whole watercolor sketchbook, and I'm gonna fill it out with just birds. Ooh, that sounds amazing. I love that. I'm trying. This is my attempt at just the birds. I got a little. Here, I'll gotta scoot this to the middle. I didn't get very far in it. My thought was like every time I see a bird, I'll put a little bird in my sketchbook. So I have a couple. I didn't get that far. We'll see. But I love, there's something about like little watercolors big. Like if I was to make this an 8x10 or something, I need like a Sharpie marker and just a ton of water. I just love, there's something so perfectly imperfect about like little stuff. Oh, so tiny. It is so tiny, so cute. Even this is too big. This is like, that is the size. That and smaller is kind of like the size that I feel like it needs to be. It's kind of wild. All right, here we are, back to our gorge. But then occasionally these things get blown up into like really big paintings, so that's where it's like, all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with some detail and see where it goes. Okay, so here's this right here, and then up here we got this going around. We'll have one of these little mountains going up and up and up and up and over and up and over. Just kind of steep, like a little tiny Grand Canyon, basically. And we're just going to kind of add all of these until, there we are, until we have enough of an outline to be able to begin painting. And then I might do the Deschutes River here afterwards if I can. So kind of just creating my own coloring book. I do wonder like where my style will eventually go, because I think watercolor, and talking to Silas about this yesterday, but like style is so interesting because it's not like you discover your style. You don't like learn a style from somebody. You're like, yep, this is my style now. Like style is something you absolutely just do you do enough of it and you find out what you like. So it's like what you like, your preferences are inside you. It's just like how much can you discover and see, kind of like a flavor, right? Like you're not like, oh, I discovered I learned to love my favorite food. No, like you know what your favorite food is, even if you've never had it yet, and you don't until you're 60. Like it's still in you, and then you just got to kind of try enough stuff until eventually you're like, oh, this is my favorite food. It turns out it's mango ice cream. I just never knew, and I kind of feel like watercolor is the same, where it's like you need to try stuff and try stuff and try stuff and try stuff. But I'm so curious if like eventually I wonder if, you know, my style is developing off of the things that I have tried and loved, but there's so many things I haven't tried. So I'm really excited to, you know, see like one day maybe I'll try not making a coloring book and then absolutely love it, and then that will be my style for then. I play video games, but love that one. Oh, let's see, hold on. So tiny cute. Maybe I play video games. Bet you love that one. Video games and iPad. There's nothing wrong with video games on the iPad. I don't know. I think that's totally fair. And like I think video games too are like kind of fun. It's all just exploring, you know? It's like whether you're singing or painting or like walking around, like all of it is just kind of like I think that's the human. Are we getting this meta this quick into it? What are we like a couple minutes? But like I feel like that's kind of your job as a human. Is just to bumble around in the universe and just learn stuff, you know? And like that's that like just I feel like that's kind of what we do best. We're certainly not the best at like loving each other or fixing messes or any of that stuff. But we are so good as a species of just like getting curious, getting into trouble, sometimes getting ourselves out of trouble, but just yeah, just testing it all out, you know? Not homework. No, never homework. All right. Here's nothing. Let's grab some pens, pencils in this case. Grab one of these, a couple of these. Broke down to a slightly smaller version. I'm trying to use less phone in my life, so I've started carrying everything with me. This is my like go everywhere pack currently, and in it got like sketchbooks, watercolor stuff, but I've had to break up things and I can still fit my like big watercolor stuff in here, but I now have like a second set. Because everybody needs a second set of watercolor. So I've broken up a second set into there now. So we'll go steal it from there. All right, we are looking at, what is this color? Let's go find out. Purple? Yeah, kind of purplish. All right, that's fine. Do purple. Let's put it back here. So I'm not quite sure if I want to go all the way to the edge or kind of break it up a little bit with this stuff. I'll probably break it up a little bit, I think. And we can leave a little bit there. Let's see, what else would be purple? Put a little bit of texture on something like this. And much of this is green, but green, like, it's not just purely green. It would be like a little bit of everything, you know? So we're gonna add just a little bit of purple in here. Partially because that's just what's in the brush, and I am feeling lazy today. One of the biggest artistic tricks. Get lazy with it. And I'm trying this method where I basically fill in a painting with pencil and then basically paint a pencil sketch. It's not the fastest thing, but I do think it's kind of what I'll often get in the wild of like I'll be somewhere where I don't have time to like sit and make a full pencil sketch or a full sketch, but I will have time to make a quick pencil sketch, and then filling that in later feels really sketchy and good. So I'm giving it a go. I like the idea, I like the style, and I'm kind of getting ready for field season, which is gonna be a lot of like outdoors, very mosquito-y. It's gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be good. And this is usually about all I get, and what my grandmother got. Oh dear, my 3-year-old just got a harmonica. This is my life now. What this is gonna be. All right. And there we go. It's a start. Are there anywhere in particular that you would like to see me head this year? Or share something? It's been kind of fun Is that kind of bluish? That's sort of bluish. It's been kind of fun sharing this process, but it's also like there's so much out there that that we could stream. The trick is kind of just picking what. Oh boy, okay, here comes the harmonica player. Yes, Kip. I don't have any hot cocoa right here. I am so sorry. But if you go inside and ask for some hot cocoa, it might be delivered. If you ask really nicely. I do have hot cocoa, and he knows it too. You're the one who looks around for hot cocoa? I am sure that you are. Just a real quick poll of the chat. What is the best, what is the best studio drink? Like if you have nothing but like a hot kettle and a mug like I do, what is your kind of go-to powdered drink? Are you a bone broth person? Chai person? Lemon ginger tea? Yeah. Okay, lemon ginger tea is very hard to beat. Okay, there is a packet of hot cocoa. But I don't know if we're drinking that right now. I think we are. I don't know if it's tea time right now. It might be tea time inside. Don't know if we're doing it in the Shedio. You want to save it? Great idea. That is some good forethought for you. Look at those ones. Love it. Ginger tea, but bone broth in the morning helps me keep up with Max kombucha. Bone broth is, I mean, like, yeah, it's got the nutrients. It's kind of like a full, like, pretty complete thing right there. I feel like I need some darker colors. What do we got? Like a dark green. Let's see what I can find here. Nope. There we go. Okay, I feel like I want one of these dark greens. Kind of these olive greens, maybe? Maybe one of these. Let's see. What's this looking like? Oh, yeah, that is kind of nice and dark. Very earth tone. Yeah, not quite. All right, let's get to painting. Let's get right into this. These are called little width pencils, by the way. Not sponsored, although they did send me these for free, so take that as you will. But they're really sweet, and they're nice. They're nice people. I was influenced, and I'm now obsessed with the brand. Yeah, it happened. Oh, Brodo. You were influenced by Brodo. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I haven't tried that yet. But whatever they're doing, they're running an amazing ad campaign. It's constant. It's like a little obsessive, actually. But like I like to pretend like I have power of free will, and then one of these ad campaigns kind of rolls around, and it's just like, okay, all right, fine. I'll do it. Haven't tried the Brodo one yet. Waiting for them to spend a little bit more ad dollars. Okay, so we have our spot. I think I'm gonna make it kind of mysterious a little bit. Let's do some of this. Let me wipe my palette off first. Yeah, Brodo. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Also, if you haven't mentioned already, we have a really cool newsletter. But it's different. It's not just me saying join our newsletter. This is me saying join, speaking of influence and campaign and ads, join our newsletter, because next week the plan is to make a book. We're gonna do it starting on Tuesday. The idea is to make a book, which is kind of a crazy thing to suggest, but the idea is, like, the world and everything that's going on right now with the film A Little Story About Forever, it talks about kind of lighting a candle in the darkness and being able to kind of find your way with the story of PFAS and all of this. So our idea is, like, we should turn this into a book and help raise some funds for the National PFAS Contamination Coalition. And so we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I've never made a book before. I've always dreamed of it, and we're gonna make it straight through, 0 to finish with live. Was that? Put this back on there? Okay. It's one of the best toys slash tripods out there, in case anybody's wondering. All right, here you go. Where are you going? Inside? Okay, enjoy. Bye. Adios. Oh, that's a great idea. Hot cocoa inside of mom with whipped cream. What am I doing stuck here painting? Look forward to watching the book come together. Yeah, so it's gonna be very, very, very exciting. So the idea, right? Make a book, zero to book, and never done it before, but I think what I plan to do is I have a typewriter from a friend who refurbishes typewriters and gave me one. So my plan is to use a typewriter and literally just like type out the words on the edge of a book, and then place them, and then just start with page one and just kind of illustrate start to finish, and then we'll scan that and put that together for in time for this conference. So I basically have a week. It's not like we're just doing it this week. I have basically 1 week to do this, to get stuff for this conference, which is just full of amazing people who deserve a story like this. But that happens on Tuesday, and I kind of say it out loud because I'm frankly very nervous, and it'll be really scary, but also so cool. So I'm just gonna hype myself up a little bit. Anybody else kind of dreamed of like making picture books? Am I alone in that? I feel like everybody's got an idea for like a really great picture book. Okay, there we go. There goes some nice blooms in that sky. And we'll keep on cruising forward, doing the light stuff, and then working our way darker and darker until it's finished. Like, what would if you were stuck in a room until you finished a picture book, what would your picture book be about? And you can't just pick a short thing to get out of the room earlier. Like, it's got to be a good picture book. You get to make one. I've been making one. It could be a really fun challenge. I'm so excited to see how yours turns out. Yeah, use ours as the test run. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't base too much on what I do. I kind of usually make things harder than they need to be. Just ask Jen. But yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, like, and I do feel like the challenge of the picture book is that they have to be good on so many levels, and also not at all. Like, some of the best children's books are just terribly illustrated, like really funny, janky stuff. But then whatever it is, you have to be able to read it like 30 times in a row. Like, that's the level. I've never read a chapter book 30 times in a row. Even the ones that I love the most, I've read them maybe 10 times tops. But I've read picture books, even ones that we got from the library this week, because I have 2 children. I have read picture books at least 30, maybe 50 times in a row. Oh, all the recipe. Yeah, there definitely is recipes on that stuff. There's some formulas for sure. Let's see. What are you doing? Paper sketchbook and colored pencils. It's like, yep. So we're kind of starting with the colored pencils, and then moving forward to. Oh, cool! Look how these blooms are turning out. Still wet? Still a bit wet. Let's see. I can still add some if I wanted. Here we go. And this is Columbia River Gorge. More like Columbia River Gorgeous. I'd make a picture book about my mom. The superhero, maybe. Aw. That's so sweet. What did your mom do? Was she like the crime fighting superhero type, or like the making the world better in real life superhero type? Okay, I'll do a little bit. I'm just gonna put a touch of, sometimes there's like a little streak of clouds that will end up over here. Here we go. Okay, this is going somewhere. I kind of like where this is going. I'm gonna put these in right now, I think, just to get some shape in, and let my river dry, and then we'll move on to perhaps Deschutes, and then see what comes next. So I'm gonna flip this over here. Sometimes it's just easier to kind of work on a side angle. Ooh, what was that sound? Okay, the door. The problem about having like a 3-year-old close by is you hear like a bang and you're just like, oh! What did they break? What happened? Okay, we're gonna fill in some of this. And I'm debating like how much of this I leave blank. I'm actually considering leaving like a fair deal blank just to kind of really lean into that sketch look. Sketchbook. Gotta run, pick up the kids from school. Sketch so far is looking great. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. It'll be an interesting one. It's one of the last ones, sort of. Still gonna make a bunch of flowers, I think. We'll fill them all out. His favorite book? My kid's favorite book. Oh gosh. I mean, it changes. Like he was really into dig books, which is a bit of a struggle as a parent, because like you can only learn about tractors so much. And I can tell you everything about excavators that there is to know now, which is great. It's very informative. The things that you will learn if you have small children in your life. But he's just moved on to animal books, which is really interesting and actually kind of funny because it's hitting the edge of my reading ability, which is really funny. A little bit concerning for me, but I'm dyslexic, so growing up reading and writing was pretty hard. I've taken classes. I you wouldn't necessarily know it. So like if somebody's like hey, go read this section of this book, I can do it. It's the comprehension that's usually the issue. So like I can pretty easily read and sound out a paragraph. I'm about to sound out a couple words, but I'm pretty good at most of this. But the comprehension doesn't always sink in, and then like reading this stuff for a long period of time becomes really difficult. And some of the books that he picked out from the library are like legitimately hard books to do. Pretty scientific. One is about crows, which is very cool, but like yeah, all of a sudden I find myself sort of just having to kind of like middle school, high school vibes are coming back of like, oh shoot, I'm not understanding a lot of this and having to reread and all of that. So I do think his book taste is going to rapidly outpace what I can read, and then eventually his reading is going to outpace what I can read, which will be an interesting thing to experience. But that's why watercolor and all that came in a lot, is because I can paint things that I couldn't necessarily read and was able to get around a lot of that. And audiobooks are kind of my jam. But I do want to be able to read as much as I can to, my kids. I just didn't expect that to like sort of find its edge at age 3. My 4-year-old niece, dude, not Naruto. Not Naruto? I know of Naruto, but I haven't seen too much Naruto. My 4-year-old niece told me about her favorite animal, the seahorse. I showed her an in real life photo of one, and she was so confused. So she opened up her kid's book and showed me a unicorn next to a mermaid. Yep. Oh yeah, no, an anime. I mean, like that. What's cool about anime in particular is like a lot of people read because of things like anime. Like the stuff they have you read in middle school and high school is just boring. It's like, why would you bother reading? But I do know a lot of people, dyslexics and otherwise, who basically powered through it because of, they want to read a manga or something like that, and they were just like, yep, I will make this happen. And being dyslexic doesn't mean that you can't read. I mean, it's tougher. Comprehension is a lot slower. I can pick something up instantly if I listen to it, but it just means that like with reading, things are a bit harder, and sometimes you have to read something 3 or 4 or 5 times to kind of really get the comprehension. And but then you just figure out what you're willing to read 3 or 4 or 5 times, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in good shape. Dude, hello. I learned so much English from playing RuneScape in elementary school. Oh my gosh, wow. I remember kids playing that in the library. Like all the computers would be taken up by kids playing RuneScape, and they have to like limit them to like an hour or two because they'd play and play and play and play. Wow, I could like literally hear the soundtrack in my head for some reason. Yeah, it's weird. Art like has this ability. Like, we can read or do stuff, you know, for a job or for the ability to communicate. It's all important, but it is the little things that we love to do seems to be what really pushes. I feel like what really pushes us forward in so many ways, you know. Same with kids. Like my 3 year old is he's all about swimming. Sort of. We try to teach him lessons. Did not work. Kind of an exercise in authority. But then when there's like a little toy or something in the pool, you just be like, I am going to swim to this thing and make leaps and bounds and just figure it out because he's like, I want to get to this little squid or whatever it was. It's kind of wild. Okay, there we go. I think that's probably plenty of water. There's a river, Columbia River, I believe. Put some purple in there because I think it needs it. There we are. And voila. It's going to be kind of a dark one. I'm kind of going for something a little bit more stormy. So as that all fills out, we'll see more and more. Now, where did my second piece of paper go? Just had it. This big. Now it is gone. It's probably hanging out with my brain, which I've also lost. Is it just gone? Can you see it? Okay, here we go. Here's another. All right. We're in good shape. Loving the blue. Yeah, I think this will. We'll see. I'm gonna try to really kind of lean into the light a little bit in this section. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how some of this kind of shapes up. But it's it's a start. All of these are just kind of starts a little bit. What do I have in my pocket? Oh. Speaking of tech stuff, sorry, this is just kind of fun. These are called bongo clips. Apparently they're phenomenal. They're called bongo clips because they look like they have a little bongo on them. But you just like say you were trying to bundle up 2 fingers. You just go. It's just like a heavy duty rubber band. Anyway, all the grips that I know, like swear by these things. It's supposed to use a normal rubber band or any of that too. But so much of my life is just moving wires around. All right, tea time, and then let's get to round 2. Round 2 is going to be the Deschutes River. There's a lot of different angles we can do Deschutes. I'm feeling one of, yeah, probably where it's kind of like just zipping down into the rapids. There's a couple of viewpoints where we can see. We'll do one of those. Seahorse. Yep. Oh yeah, just catching back up on. I found that, yeah, the seahorse side of things is kind of a wild animal, speaking of which. Okay. It's been a week. It's not even Friday. It feels like it's been a week. Although it's at least a sunny week. Like as much as like everything's kind of all over the place, the sun has kind of come back to Anchorage and it is lovely. It is so good. And by like come back to Anchorage, I mean like it's still very, very, very much rainy and pretty awful. But the there is sun sometimes, and it is just intoxicating. It's wonderful. You just like you smile for no reason. And we have a lot of sun too. Let's see, my watch does it, but you can kind of see like so here's where the sun is right now. So it's almost solar noon, and then if you look, this is how much our sunset is at 9:40, and it's gonna rise at 6 o'clock. But here's the kickers: we have 15 hours and 24 minutes of daylight, but that's gonna get all the way up to 19 hours here relatively quickly, which is kind of cool. There we go. So that is an exciting thing. I think what we're gonna do with this one. So this one will have some trees kind of up here. this is still the initial round, so part of me almost like doesn't want to get too attached to anything or like really get too excited because they could always come back and be like, we want something different. But we'll get some good stuff on the Deschutes River. A little bit up here, a little bit over there. This is kind of these, yeah, nice tall pine trees on these big rocky bits. And got a couple rocks down here. I'm gonna kind of let this be. I'm gonna kind of let this sort of run out into some design. We'll give it a try. We'll see kind of how it feels. There's a 0.8. This is really, really about all I need there. Okay. Bit of this. But I feel like spring is mostly exciting because it just starts to let you daydream about summer. All of a sudden, it's like acceptable. Summer is there and it's close enough where you're allowed to start thinking about it without getting your heart broken. Whereas winter, the second you start thinking about summer, it's just like it's so far away, at least here in Anchorage. And so it's kind of a quick way to break your seasonal heart. But in the summer and spring, you can think about summer all you want because it's coming. All right, a little bit here, and we're just gonna kind of work our trees right up to the top. There we are. A little sketchy, but it should check out, maybe. Anybody have any wild and crazy summer plans? I don't think I'm traveling too much this summer because both cost to travel right now and it's just there's so much happening. Might head to the East Coast for a little bit with some family, but I don't know if I'm like doing any crazy France trips or anything too wild. But the beauty about living in Alaska is you don't need to go to any like other country to find some wild stuff. So potentially there's some opportunity to find some really fun things just in and around Alaska, which I would love to have the opportunity, a bit more of that. My wife is always like, why are we leaving? Why would we leave Alaska? It's gorgeous here. So this summer we might actually do some of that. Oh, I should have made this taller. Real tempted to kind of stop on this one. I think what I'm going to do is just run through it and do a quick one, see if I can learn something from it. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. We'll give it a go. When is summer for Alaska, by the way? I think short. Yes, summer for Alaska is very short. It's like July and August. But even at the beginning of July, you might still have the occasional snow, and at the end of August, you might have the occasional snow. October is fall. October is winter. September gets into fall. June starts with spring and maybe ends up in summer, but it's kind of like there's no guarantee of anything anymore because stuff changes so much with the weather these days. But yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. So it's like 2 days. Yeah. That's the real seasons that they say Alaska is 2 seasons: winter and construction season, because there's like this really quick season. Everybody just tries to get as much as they can done in that form. All right, here we are. So we're gonna kind of give a lot of this a go. We'll see how this looks. Not the best landscape that I've ever painted, I'll be honest. Yeah, not super thrilled with how I turned this out. But that is where you're going to watch this process. We might be able to turn this around. And this is kind of the beauty of watercolors. Like, we might be able to turn this around, but like there's no love lost if we don't, because I already don't think this is going too many places. So if anything, we're just going to relax up a little bit and see where we can go. I do Yellowstone for a week in May. Oh, lots of painting planned. That sounds incredible. Oh my gosh, Yellowstone is so cool. Oh, lucky. I'm sorry, but that's why I don't live in Alaska. But love the community and the people there. Yeah, that is entirely fair. It is a lot of winter. We just discovered the idea of leaving in the winter for a week or two, and that was exciting. That's a fun idea. The birds definitely, called it. They kind of know what's up. All right, there we go. There's a loose test. Now let's put some watercolor pencil or just some pencil on it, and let's put some watercolor. I'm going to my friend's cabin with her daughters for her daughter's baptism. A bit rural, so probably going to end up tenting close by with my niece. Nice suit in my baggie, in my baggage. Oh my gosh, that sounds rustic. Oops, that's pencil. That's awesome though. I want to do more tenting too. I feel like that's one of those things that I would love to do a little bit more of. Like it's so fun to be in a place when it's super nasty when you are in a tent. I don't always love taking the tent up and taking the tent down, but like if it's for a purpose, I could get behind it, especially with the streaming stuff. Like I tried to stream last Saturday and it was a total nightmare. And all I was thinking of is just like if I had a tent. If I had a tent. And I do have a tent. Like I have tents. It's not like I don't. If I brought a tent, then I could do that. But like yeah, just posting up or a fire tower, frankly. Like there's so many things. There's so many things I could use. A cute cabin. Good weather is nice, but there's something amazing about bad weather plus shelter. For the summer, I'm hoping to do art events and table and sell my artwork. Oh, cool! That is an exciting thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever tabled? It's an experience. It's like filming a wedding as a photographer or something. I feel like it's something everybody has to do, but it can be pretty grueling, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah, I've done tabling sort of once or twice, and I mean, it's really cool. It can be a little bit brutal if, like, say, somebody comes up and they just watch, what you're doing and look at all your artwork and like talk for 15 minutes and then they just walk away. It's so hard. Okay, yeah, it's your third year, so you know all about that. Here's an 8-hour drive. Is like big, maybe once a year compared to the U.S. 8-hour drive. Yeah, want to talk about tabling? I feel like sometimes, it's like in Alaska at least, you'll have to drive 6 hours. If you're doing like a thing in Fairbanks versus Anchorage, and then you might sell two things, and it's like, oh, what am I doing? But it's good. It builds character, right? Put some trees up here. Why not? I'll just put a couple like that. I do some summer and in October at the holidays. Nice. It's good. What sells the most in your experience? Like, do you have it down to a science? It always seems like by the time I'm done tabling, I like finally figured out the formula, and then by the time I start again, I'm done. I've forgotten everything. Okay, so we do have these big rocks here. These are going to be kind of frothing in the froth, so we're gonna put a little bit of some shapes around them. And what I might do is I might just kind of like put some little. I think I'm gonna actually just kind of create some shapes over and around. I mean, why not? Like I've got nothing to lose really. And with this kind of painting, I think the sooner you can ruin it, the better off you are, because at least you'll know. Like if this really doesn't turn off, that way I don't have to like spend the time doing the rest of this to find out that I don't like how it looks when I add some of these. But I've always kind of wanted to try some of these because they kind of seem, I don't know, they kind of seem fun. I'm gonna try switching colors too. Each one for me is different, but I something that always sells is stickers and prints. Stickers and prints. Yep, they are. It's like we cannot as a people get enough of those, which is good. Good for artists. We're about to find out the book side of things. Uh, I'm very curious. Like the idea behind this book, and never made a book before, never sold a book. Jen, the producer a la Trailbound, just released a really cool book, which I actually haven't read yet. But if anybody's looking for a read, it like exists online, which is really cool. It's called the When the Road Disappears. But it's like making the thing is just halfway, to halfway up. It's like a mountain or something. You get to the summit and you're just halfway up. So I'm really curious to see the idea is, in the starting next week, make a whole book. But then, is that also just like the start, just the start, and then do you have to then get the thing out there and get it sold and all of those pieces? But what's cool is like I won some prize money with the film that we made that the book's going to be based off of, and I want to donate it to the National PFAS Contamination Coalition, and said, well, what if we made a book instead that could be longer lasting? They're like, yep, all right. So they're trusting me with it. No pressure. Oh, I don't know if you answered my question, but where do you get your tiny sketchbook? Oh, sorry. Yes, tiny sketchbook. These are Etcher. Etcher. E-T, Etcher. How do I, let me see, hold on. Etcher. This brand. And they're phenomenal. Yeah, they're really cute things. Not cheap, but like adorable and so so fun to paint on. Oh, nice. I'll sketch it out. Yeah. They are fun to do. And it's kind of nice too. It's like I do think of sketchbooks in the form of like, if it was stolen, how much would I pay to get it back? Because it seems like a lot to pay, $10 or $15 for a sketchbook, or some of these things are like $50 for a sketchbook, and that seems like way too much. But then like once you paint that thing in, like how much is that worth to you? And it'd be way more than $50. It'd be like hundreds, depending on how much I liked it. Even if the sketches aren't good, the memories that are in there, kind of like an iPhone. If somebody's gonna steal your phone, that's sad. But it's like it's the photos that really matter, and I feel like with those little sketchbooks too, it's like they're pricey, but if you can fill that out, then I don't know. I think it's worth it. Once again, not paid to say that. Didn't pay for the book, so take that. Oh, you meant check it out. Yeah, but you will sketch that out, won't you? There we go. Okay, I am actually really liking this kind of look. I don't know about you, but this is kind of like the motion of it is just mesmerizing. So we're gonna scoot some of these over here, and I'll switch some colors. This is the other great thing about commissions, is you get to kind of try stuff out. They might like it, they might not like it, but I get to take a lesson away no matter what. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like that enough to finish this thing up. It's kind of fun. I'll add my big rocks in here in a second. Yeah. I kind of dig this. Okay. Let's keep it going. I'm just kind of curious, but like, as artists, what's your take on what matters now, considering with AI and everything, people can just like get a piece of art in like a second. I guess they could have with Photoshop too, couldn't they? But now that people can kind of get themselves in whatever they want very quickly, how do you think people react or like or buy the stuff that you're making? I'm gonna add a little bit of a sun here, I think. Just because I'm feeling it. Maybe I won't put the actual sun. Yeah, I think I'll hide the sun a little bit. We'll just kind of do, we'll do like the sun kind of creeping up over these trees. There we go. Yeah, I like that very much. Also, just for the record, my camera makes everything look super washed out and kind of terrible. Like all this is very like, I just feel like I need to clarify. It's like, there we go. That's not even quite accurate colors. Not that I'm too particular about that either. I know some people are like really, I'm using thylacine brown, so it's like that's the color it is. For me, it doesn't matter too much. But when it looks kind of washed out, it's always a little bit like, no. Trust me, it's good. Okay. We'll paint right up to the edge. Using a little block right now. Looks great? Okay. That looks cool. I think it's clip art. AI art or this art? Because that can be a compliment. There's some pretty amazing clip art out there. A little bit over here. And this is not my proudest sky ever. But it'll do. Yeah, it'll do. And we're going to get back to the Columbia River Gorge here in just a moment. I don't consider anything AI art. The process doesn't involve creativity. One art says they hate it. The other artist makes money on AI. That's the conversation. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like I feel like it's really controversial, especially because like a lot of the models right now are just sort of stealing from other people's stuff. So it's definitely like yeah, kind of it definitely seems pretty controversial. I'm not worried about AI stopping me doing art. I'm more worried about other artists using it for bad intentions, stealing original artwork. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to become a thing. I do think that I hope people get back to art. Oh boy, I shouldn't have. That was way too much blue I put in all of that. Don't love. I do kind of hope people can use artwork to kind of get back to real things. Like I feel like as AI affects other things in life, whether it's social media or like the ways that we know what's real, which used to be, if you saw a photo of it, it's like photos or it didn't happen or things like that. I think as as it affects those things, because photos don't necessarily mean real stuff anymore, I feel like people are gonna only kind of trust the stuff that they can sort of hold in their own hands, which in my case is like a lot of sketches. It's like, and it's not perfect, but it's mine. It's real, and yeah, like as people start to steal stuff and do things, I wonder if there's gonna be a return to people appreciating what they can actually make. The not knowing how it works, making the output seems kind of novel or interesting to some people. Yeah, I like if you get a photo from the prompts, you put it in like, wow, unexpected, but in reality, it's just a lack of knowledge that makes it seem interesting. Oh, interesting take. So it's the newness that makes AI interesting for people, you think. I think it gets people excited about creating as it makes it accessible to people who wouldn't have tried anything. People still ask for my work, and I don't see any downscale on that. That's a cool take. Interesting. So you're saying that like AI isn't affecting you as an artist because people will be like, my dog is a watercolor, and they'll see it and they'll be like, that's cool, but then they'll get excited and now they're like, I actually want the real thing. Is it kind of like somebody trying like imitation crab or something and being like, I love that, and then being willing to pay for like real crab because they're like, okay, all right, well if I love this, like, what's the real thing taste like? Maybe a weird analogy, but artists and imitation crab, we're basically the same, virtually, identical. A little bit here. I don't know how much of the rest is I want to add here before I let it dry and we move on to the next one. For artists, it affects their bottom lines when their work is outsourced in the end. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's definitely something we're experiencing a little bit here. Like, I'm super lucky to be able to work with Keen. Like, they're awesome and they love art, which is kind of rare, actually. They're like one of the few companies that's like, we want the watercolor, and I have to kind of convince them on it. But yeah, it's like, how do you support that? And then I think that's sort of what we're trying to figure out next too, is like, what do we do that's not just like asking for donations, but it still feels like organic and genuine and real. But then how can we help other artists support themselves as well, or maybe not support themselves? It doesn't need to be a job, but like, how can we encourage people to do art? And sometimes encouraging people is like they want to make something that they could sell or afford a sketchbook or something like that. Or how can we make money so we can encourage other people? But it's like, yeah, how do you just get more people to do art? That's another T-shirt we need. Artist and imitation crab are basically the same things. Somebody should have a running list of this. When you take a picture of your dog, then prompt art of any style you want. Why would anyone probably pay for the painting of a dog instead, when it can just be a Snapchat filter and you pay for the painting? Yeah, well, and I think it's the process. Like, I think, to me, I think that's where it comes down, is like, we could have this in a prompt. There's something called Midjourney. Like, they could do that so fast. Watercolor of like Columbia River Gorge, 10 versions of this in 2 minutes. Which, like, now I think of it, boy, that would like save me some serious time. But I also think that having the process is kind of what makes it interesting. But it's different enough. Well, let's see. Keen's not on here, right? Is anyone from Keen? It's like a cop. You have to tell me. If you work for Keen, you have to tell me if you're on. Is anybody on from Keen? I'm gonna say some feelings and thoughts. You have 10 seconds to let me know if my coworkers are on here. Then I'm gonna tell you my real unabashed feelings. Oh wait, there's a bit of a delay. Nope. All right, nobody from Keen is on. So I think what would be the most interesting thing is you just fully pull back the curtain and just show the process. Oh wait, hold on. Somebody came on. Nope. Okay, nobody's from Keen. I almost feel like the actual painting have more inherent value because people recognize how much work it took. And then you're saying, when drawing somebody's dog, the pet owner often talks about their pet, which definitely a close relationship in the bond, especially if they're grieving the pet, that is usually why people reach out for dog paintings, which is both tragic and beautiful. I think that the amount of most company people customers care about the artist process I think that amount of companies or people, customers, that would care about the artist process would become smaller with time. If a model could make an image in less than a minute, you don't care as much. So I think that it would be mutually funnier and more satisfying when that common thing being the pet. Hold on, wait, sorry, let me read this. Dyslexics versus the chat. So I think it'd be much funnier and more satisfying when sharing that common thing being the pet. Sharing that common thing. Huh. Now you get me thinking here. Well, I mean, TLDR today. Oh gosh, I need to know what TLDR means. I think AI is going to be a lot lonelier. I think AI is going to be a lot lonelier, and people will be trapped, will tap out from personal use. I think AI is going to be a lot lonelier, and people will tap out from personal use. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, so my like right, so AI isn't going to be something that we use all the time for fun. It'll be much more like it is around us, but we're not going to use it for kind of our own stuff. Is that what you're saying? Because yeah, I think like from a from an artistic standpoint, the process is what is becoming so cool to me. Like so much. Oh wow, I spelled nothing correctly. I'm so sorry. That's all right. I don't read anything correctly anyway. Um, with time, a decade or two, fewer and fewer people will care about art being authentic, I think, because AI will be the norm for illustrations. I agree with you sort of, but I also think that there's going to be something about the organicness, right? Like think about wine, or I don't know, like a um yeah, wine's a good example. Like you could make some really good wine really fast by using a bunch of fertilizers and GMOs really fast. But you want the stuff that's kind of made well, and it adds something to the magic, knowing it's like, yeah, this wine is like a handcrafted, batch made, organic, we don't use pesticides, whatever it is. Would you be able to actually tell the difference? Probably not. But you know that it's like that's kind of a better way of doing it. But all wine couldn't be made that way because like there'd be no way we'd have the resources on Earth to be able to pull that off. So I do think you're right. I think AI is going to be kind of more acceptable, but I also think that we're going to be more discerning for like what we actually want, for sure. But authentic art will go from the default to niches for those willing to pay. Yeah, probably some of the real stuff, but I'm also hoping that people get more into like, oh, I'll drink the paint water. Speaking of putting toxic things in your body, I also think people are gonna get kind of. I hope people are gonna get kind of, um, the process. I think we're gonna stop seeing art for the product and for the process. Like the product is cool. Here's a pretty picture that I made, and it's nice, and there you go. Like that is cool. And a lot of people I don't feel like care sort of how it gets made, but they just want the thing. But I feel like yes, Kip, I was philosophizing. She gave you no hot cocoa? Oh my goodness. Did you ask her for hot cocoa? What did she say? Did she say no hot cocoa today? If she didn't give you some hot cocoa, I'm probably not gonna give you some hot cocoa. Um, I'm sorry. We might have some later on. Maybe we'll go on a run to the duck pond and get some hot cocoa this afternoon. How about that? Negotiations. We'll look to see if it's safe to go across it. Yeah, maybe we'll check that out this afternoon. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Okay. We're gonna try to go across the duck bridge. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna check that out, Kep. I'm not sure if you're getting any of this, but you know what? We're over here arguing about AI and everything, and like this guy's just like, let's go to the duck pond. This is the real. Somebody focusing on the real stuff. You want to see it? Okay, here it is so far. What do you think?
I like it.
You like it? And then some color in. You think it's good?
Yes.
Yeah, really good. Good. I'm making another one too. Okay. There you go. Why don't you go zip outside for a little bit? I got another hour or two until I need to take you to the duck pond. I need to finish 2 landscapes. Uh, yes, I hope so too. When the new generation will grow up being able to. Okay, you build a little train out of the Duplo. Uh, New generation will grow up being able to make anything from an image into any style and simple prompt. It's an interesting paradigm shift. Run to the duck pond, get hot cocoa. I'm all in. It's gonna happen. If you want, we'll head off in an hour or two. And kids have the priorities in order. But like that's okay. So here's okay. Yep, excellent segue. So here's what I'm feeling. Like I did a bunch of painting classes recently, and I noticed that the first graders, they're just not first graders, like I don't know, kindergartners maybe. They're just like, give me the art supplies, let's make some art. They do not care about what it looks like. They're just like, it's just like paint, paper, it's all about the painting, not the painting. And it's super cool. But then the older kids all of a sudden start to care about like what if it's wrong, like their artwork is more important to get it right, and they actually start to care about these things. So as you kind of get up, like their artwork goes from kind of these beautiful colorful things to kind of these much smaller, more like detailed, they have to get it right. And um and you can't, that's right, you can't replace duck pond and cocoa with AI. But I do think it's like the process is kind of what it's actually all been about. We always think like the process is like me looking at my beautiful pic, like this is like to art curators, like this is the process. Everything before it doesn't matter. Pretty picture on a wall with a story, and I'm like, yes, I am getting this artwork out of my interactions. What matters. But I think probably what artists have known forever, nobody else has, is that like the only thing that actually matters is what you're making and why you're making it for. Sorry, like what you were actually making and then why you're making it for. Hello. What did she say? Did you say you can kick him out? Okay, all right. If you play quietly with the trains, you're all good. You will not be kicked out. All right. Um, I think that the sense of right and wrongfulness with art is so fascinating. Current, uh, Culturally integrated. It'd be interesting to see how AI influences the idea of right and wrong in art. But if a customer pay for a painting, I know it'd be authentic, but I wouldn't experience anything of the process the artist had. Well, so that's what I think is like that's the future is the process. Like obviously I say this like showing you a painting that I'm making. But I do think that it is like that is kind of what I do kind of think like that is what is going to matter in the future is showing the process. So with Keen, and nobody told me if they work for Keen right now, so if we're all good, I'm going to have some frank discussions here. With Keen, I think like this is really cool that we're hand watercoloring everything for their impact report. But I think the most interesting thing would have been them doing a live of me doing this stuff, which takes a lot and is they're getting there. I don't know if they figured out the live side of things, but like I think that's like watching this shoe come together and then maybe talking to the designer as I'm sketching it out. That would be fascinating. That would make this so much more than an image. That would make that like cool. And I feel like that is art in the future is as artists there's kind of this private thing that you get to experience, which is the creation. And for a lot of us, it's like very private and we don't want to show anybody because it's scary. But I think if we can let people into that, like that is what, I don't know, I feel like that is what AI is going to push us into. And maybe that's a good thing. Like it's terrifying, but like, let me show you. And I think that's what people are going to learn to love is like the imperfection and just like the journey that we take. And I feel like that's such a human thing. Um, but also, I have no idea. And I've only been live streaming for like less than a year. So I don't actually know how any of this works. But I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that it pushes us in cool directions. I think the human handmade artwork, you have a relationship to the making through the evidence of the hand that isn't there when AI does something through algorithms. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely like there's something real about, you know, every brush stroke. And it is definitely like, stop me if you've heard this one, or actually don't, because I'll go into it. But like, so my grandmother, Kip's great grandmother, she left behind all these sketches from all over the world. Look at the choo-choo train! Whoa, nice train! Nice train, dude. There's another train right there. So, she left behind all these sketches from all over the world. So my grandma left behind all these sketches from all over the world, and my goal is to find out where she was with each of them. What you can do actually, like even this cityscape, like if I'm 10 feet to the, I don't know, maybe a mile to the left, those smokestacks will be behind that building. So they'll only ever line up in one place. So with these, I should be able to find out where, maybe not the flowers, but I should be able to find out where every single spot was. And then I'm going to make the same sketch in the same place, the same materials is the goal, and then color it in. But, oh, Snow Canyon. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I actually know where this is. We went here last year. Oh, man, what was I doing not bringing my sketchbook? Missed opportunity. Okay, we're gonna have to go there and live stream this. But what I was realizing the other day is what's so cool. Oh, she put the moon in there. Amazing. But what's so cool is like every single thing she did was like an intentional thing. Like the, you know, the handmadeness that you're talking about, but like with like she could have taken photographs of all of this, which she absolutely didn't, and she could have labeled these, which would be very helpful instead of just Utah, 1999. Great. No photo, no nothing, but we'll still find this. But like every single line was one that she made. Like that right there, I know exactly what that feels like. She made all of these, she would have done the outline, and then she went squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. And like that, those are pinyon pine trees. Oh no, they're juniper. These are juniper trees for sure, right? Like she went squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Like I know what she, like every single one of those. And that was her looking at the thing. So she's looking at the thing, and then a hand did this. And this is a rough sketch. She would take these back and then use reference photos and other stuff and make them big, fancy, beautiful paintings. But like that relationship of like it's not a photograph. It is like the squiggly eye to place, place to eye to hand. That is like the human piece of it, and I feel like we get caught up in the picture. We can't see the tree for the forest, you know, like this is altogether it is a picture, sure, but what it actually is it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tiny individual lines that are on purpose because you got inspired by a place. And she's like all over this sketchbook, like everything here happened on purpose. I think that's what's so cool about artists and what you're doing. Yeah, it is. It's literally her kinetic energy. Oh my gosh, you're so true. What a cool way of putting it. Yeah. So this is 1999. This is what 1 plus 26 years. So this is 27 years old. But like her kinetic energy is all over this, which is so cool. But I can also use this like a map, and then I can find out where she was. And then when I am, the coolest things when I am in the place, I've done this with a couple sketches before, when I am with this sketchbook, bringing it back to exactly where it was 27 years ago, it's like you see exactly what she was thinking, and then it's like something from Atlantis. I don't know, like it's like you can see what she was thinking. It's so cool. Amazon delivery. Weird. You can see like exactly where she was, like what she was thinking, all of these things. And right, it is a kinetic energy. And like this is not a fancy thing. And this is not a wild AI construct or something like that. But I think in the future, like this is worth more than any perfect picture. And I think that's why doing stuff like this or the sketches we make now are gonna be so much more important than anything we can make in AI. Hold on. Yep, what's up? Okay, I'm gonna put this on this little thing, but I do need to make a painting at some point. Okay, like that? Or like this. There we go. I'm easily distracted. Yeah, the human brain is smarter, trained brain, but maybe you need new data. Yeah, it's well, and it's like yeah, just I don't have words for this stuff, but it's so cool. It's so cool, and it gets me so excited to see other people's sketches too, because you know what they're putting together or like the artwork they're making is going to be so interesting in the future. Partially just because they made it, you know. All right, got distracted. Let's finish this up here. Add this together, piece by piece. We're just gonna fill this in. These sketches are fun too, but like yeah, sketching them in the real place, I feel like would be that's the dream. Soon too, like take this all to I don't know if I could ever get out to like some of those really cool beaches or into the mountains and I can show you the sketch in the place itself. That is kind of my dream. Right now, we're just painting in a studio, but we will be getting you out to the mountains at some point. Whether you plan on it or not, we're going to go on a field trip. Big train going behind me. This might not be exactly the same as your grandmother, but my family, my mother and my father created fabric art, clothing and blankets, and my dad built furniture. Oh, how cool! Yeah, like the building, like furniture by hand. It's like, yeah, it's real. It's real. It's like, that's so special. My grandma's also a quilter. That was like her main thing. The sketches are just kind of like to take notes, which I connect with, but her quilts are. My wife is chastising me. She's like, these are like you have no idea how hard this was. How dare you not like appreciate these as much as you should. I never cared much for art, but now I go to an art meetup every week. It's it's a free 3 hours at a gallery, all ages, and it's so nice to see people be bad at art like me. The only way you can be bad at art is by not doing it. Which, by that factor, I am bad at art often, given how much I could and then don't. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Let's see. We're gonna put a little bit of this in here. Okay, the idea is to not overthink this one. The idea is to just kind of get this one done. All right. And here we go. Let's see. I touch those things and get increased feeling touching them, holding them. Yeah, the stuff made like by relatives. Like how cool is that? That's so special. But also, right, like you probably wouldn't give up that furniture or clothing or like anything for any amount of money. Like I think that's something I think about too is people always talk about like how much money they're putting into AI and all this stuff, which unlike everybody kind of picks on AI because we're all scared of it. But it's like what can you do that will make something more valuable than when you started? And I do kind of feel like art is alchemy a little bit. Alchemy is the study of turning like lead into gold. And I do feel like art is kind of alchemy in a lot of ways because like this is a sheet of paper. These paints are worth something, but I can make this something so much more valuable. And not just because somebody's willing to pay for it, or like, hey, we want this for a report, but it's so much more valuable because it's so much more than what it was. And even like little sketches, or say you go to an art meetup, and make some bad art, but then your family, your friends, your relatives, like in 10 years or 20 years, like that will be so valuable to them because it's a piece of you. And I think that's what's so cool to me about art is like you can take watercolors and make them into something or anything. Sorry, not to rag on other art, but like you can take a piece of paper and some colors and make it into something precious. Like that's so cool. And the people that can take flour and water and just turn it into bread, or things like that. Like it's alchemy. It's so cool. And what can you do that like makes something? Like that's I think it's just is magic. Is magic. The more magic you can do, the better. Help with what? Some serious train construction going on behind me. Sewing is fun. I have free art supplies and I They have free art supplies and muffins or snacks. Yes, this is all you need, right? That is all it takes. Art supplies, snacks. Check. Like, and you can make gold. We figured out alchemy like 2,000 years ago. We created watercolor and snacks. Why aren't we doing more of it? Why is it like only preached in first grade and then when you retire? I'd go off on a tangent here. Never. My home is a happy, cozy. My home is happy and cozy with its heirlooms, right? Okay, you're talking about selling the stuff that your family made, right? It's like that's what makes it. I feel the same pigments at the physical level and the complexity of how the light is being reflected. It's so awesome. Yeah, it's and like I said, humans, like our job is to kind of get curious about stuff, and like art lets us do that. I know you all know this stuff, but like I feel like I kind of need to hear it sometimes myself, where it's like, yeah, it's a little scary too as an artist when things do change so much, and like the insecurity too of like what do I do that's worth, like what do I do that's important enough to support, and and I do think that this is important, even though it seems like some people do stuff that would be like, yes, kid. The train is getting dirty wheels? Oh, how'd that happen? Is it because I have a dirty studio? Yeah, that's true. Called out. I'm sewing right now, making a bag for my friend. Oh, how cool is that? My wife is like a sewer. What is the term? Seamstress, sewer. Anyway, she's a fabric artist, and so is making really cool stuff. Uh, Although I'm not sure if it's the same with you, but with her, it's like it's a lot of sewing and then a lot of swearing. It's like she kind of fights with the fabric a lot, but she keeps on coming back to it. It's definitely some real train madness going on. Duplo trains behind me are just the lore of whatever's going on would put Evil Knievel to shame. All right, so we're just adding a little bit of some darkness behind these trees. I'm kind of just trying to make some quick trees. Probably should put another layer or two kind of in between them, but I don't know. I don't mind it too much. This one's mostly to kind of get a sense of like what the this kind of style feels like. Kind of dig it. My grandpa does glass fusing, makes seasonal decorations. Oh, amazing. That's a cool one. That's a cool art form. Not a big bag, like a small one, making out of fake leather. Cool. Kid being a kid. Yep. But hey, loud kids are happy kids, so that's good. Except for when they like fall and they're very loud and very unhappy. Okay, we are gonna get this done. This is the goal. We are gonna do this. And doing this for you is helping me do this because I'm not sure if I'll be doing this on my own. I have been struggling mightily with just there's so much going on right now. I feel a little bit trapped in it. Like like kind of like being squashed, you know? Like if you are a marble on a concrete floor and you put a little bit of pressure on top of that marble, it'll shoot out really fast. But if you put a ton of pressure, it'll hold the thing there. And that's a little bit like what I feel like is normally I put pressure on me to kind of move me forward, but then if there's too much pressure, it builds up and kind of pushes you into a rut. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Definitely got a little stuck into it, a little bit too much kind of built up and is going on. But as it starts to alleviate, that's when I'll end up shooting forward and going a million miles an hour for a little while. I love the sounds of my kids just chattering and squealing. Okay, I'm glad. If it's too much, let me know and I can feed him like a bunch of peanut butter and then he can like gum up his mouth or something. That's good parenting, right? The train of life. Only going forwards. Nope. No, it does not. It very much goes backwards and gets derailed. but it is a train because it's connected to all kinds of other things and bumping and clattering and generally a good time. Okay, we're just adding the last of these little bits. There we go. So it's kind of good rocky falls. Trust me, sewing for me is a lot of getting poked with needles and swearing until I run out of swears to say. That's amazing. Hey, Kip. That is really funny. Running out of swears to say. I I feel it. Yeah. For me, watercolor is. Whoa, Kip! Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay. He just got the typewriter out. Okay, well, he's bringing it to me. Okay, we'll do the typewriter in 1 second. Let me quickly finish this wash. Yeah, for me, watercolor is like, it's a little terrifying, and like I'll avoid it and avoid it and avoid it. Once I get started, I love it. But it's the getting started that is the hard part, and I find that I need something to do it. It's not so much swearing, it's like kind of talking myself up. I'll be like, you got this, you can do this, or like kind of talking through all the steps, but then it's music that kind of gets me going. Either an audience, which is really scary sometimes, or music, which is fast. It's like music that makes me want to dance is what will actually get me sketching. Like stuff that makes me like unafraid to make mistakes is what will actually get me sketching, which is really funny. All right. I'm gonna help you out with that. Let me show them this sweet thing. So check this out. This is from, we have a really cool meetup group. So Trailbound Sketches, we have a Discord channel. If anyone knows what Discord is, it's like a really cool group chatty thing. You can get there from our newsletter. So Jen put the newsletter way up in the top of the chat, or you can just go to trailboundsketches.com. And our newsletter has a link to the Discord. But in the Discord, we have fun little meetups. We've been meeting up. Like in this case, this is from Alaska, and this one is one of my favorites. This is my friend Aaron, who is a teacher, but like refurbishes typewriters. Look at this gorgeous thing. And so it's a singer, like the sewing machine, and so what I've been hoping to do is, can I see your piece of paper? Actually, no. Here, I'll use my own piece of paper. Here, you hold on to that one. I'm gonna show them an example, and then I'll use your sheet of paper. So what I'm thinking of doing is like just taking a sketchbook like this. So this is what I'm planning to do for the book, like for the actual book that we're making, which starts on Tuesday. So my plan is to take an actual just book like this, which is just a book. Well, actually no, it's not. This is a pre-filled in book, but like just take a book like this, and then start with page 1 is this one, page 2 is this one, and just run all the way through it, because I can open this up and scan it flat. I'll let you have it in 1 second. So my plan is to do this, and then I'll type out the words, and we can literally just paste them there. And then when the book is done, we'll scan it and then print it as like an actual book. But we'll physically have the thing just like this. So anyway, it is the coolest typewriter. And so what you do is, oh boy, this is embarrassing. Wait, I need to remember how to typewrite. So this, okay, like this. Nope. So let's do some of that. Nope. 1 second, Kip. Is this it? Just go back here. What am I doing here? Sorry, wait. This is embarrassing. Kip actually knows how to use this better than I do, which is pretty funny. There we go. Okay, so here it is. We're just gonna put it. I want to show them this really cool thing, Kip. Hold on, I'm very excited about this. And then, it's a little bit all over the place. But then we just boom. And then we just zip it up here. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? And so I'll type out all of the words onto something like this. So like, and then just not copy them. I'll literally just cut them and then put them on the book. And then we'll use this, but I'll use this as the actual text as well, which could be kind of fun. But yeah, it's just like, oh, they're so cool. All right, 1 moment, Kep. Okay, you want me to put that together? No, I will do. Yes, I'm gonna load the paper for you. I will do load the paper. You will not load the paper. I will load the paper. This is a 1970 machine. This is older than both of us combined. Let's get our margins small. Yes, they are. Wait, no, I gotta go like this. Yes, okay. So okay, margins are small. We're just gonna do some of this. Yeah, isn't this thing is so sweet. Like, it needs to be able to survive me and Kip. This is very important. But these things are built to last, so. Wait. Right, it goes backwards. There's my margins. Did it again.
Why do you say ow, Dada?
I keep on putting it in the wrong side. There we go. Great. Okay, there you go. We gotta be super gentle with it though, right?
Okay.
I'll let you know what he types. Alright, on to Columbia River Gorge. Let's do this. Yeah. I swear I'm not becoming Amish, but like I'm really loving the non-analytical stuff. Still use technology. I love zippers, you know, and I guess they use buttons, but there's something good about like, yeah, that thing, no batteries, no need. Okay, so we have this now, Columbia River Gorge. I'm gonna gorge us, and let's put some more stuff in here. I kind of like where this stuff is kind of bleeding to. It's kind of a cool look. The physicality of it is unmatched. Yeah, it's so good. You hearing that bing? Oh, gentle. All right, here we go. Ready? There you go. Gosh, yeah, he's learning to type on a typewriter before he's learning to type on a computer. This guy is like he's not an iPad baby either. Very proud of this. It's a typewriter baby. Although that makes me seem a little too hipstery, so I might like have to sort of curtail that. Okay, where are we going here? This right here, we're gonna add a little bit of of that. But yeah, so the idea is like with a book, my plan is to just physically make the thing. Like we're gonna start at page 1 and then just go all the way across. And I know that you're supposed to do these things all intentional and fancy, where you like do, you know, the draft outline and then the next outline and then the next one until it's more and more done. But also I feel like how I kind of work best sometimes is just starting at the start until we're done and just kind of just going at it. And I think we're gonna try that. I think that'd be really cool personally. Okay, so we have all this. I want to leave some of it blank, but also not too much of it blank. That could be a bit of an issue. Maybe, yeah, I think we're gonna try it. We'll try some pieces blank and just see what happens. Kip, let me know when your story's ready and I'll read it to the chat. Sound good? Deep into typing. But I will say, all this discussion about AI and art and those things, thank you for being on, because I feel like being able to kind of share my process has made me so much more brave. Like I'm doing so many more paintings because of this. So it's really scary to let people into your world, but I'm so glad that I'm letting the right people into my world. And I think we're gonna do some cool stuff with it. Like this has just been really lovely, and I can't wait to see what like kind of next year in particular holds, but also this year. We're barely into it. You hearing these sounds? I need to start a travel art journal. You do. You absolutely do. Oh my gosh. I'm not like anybody to tell anybody that they have to do anything, but you have to start a travel art journal. Sorry. You just have to. It is the coolest way to be able to capture your experience. So good. What I've heard too is you'll have one person in a group, like if you're traveling with a group, have one person per day, like their job is to take the photos. Nobody gets to take photos unless like you have to take a photo for something, but nobody gets to take photos except for one person. One person per day gets to take the photos, so that we can experiment it and like actually kind of enjoy what's going on. And then one, and maybe not one person, but then that kind of frees you up to then do painting or something like that. There's a creek near my house and I want to draw some of the stuff in there. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Traveling and being at home are the two best places for sketching, which I suppose is basically just like saying everywhere is the best place for sketching, which is the truth. But I do think like there's something just absolutely amazing about like what you can see when you just have a sketchbook and you're just willing to be curious, and then also when you're traveling. Curious. Okay, can I read your story to everybody? Yeah? Okay. When you're done with it, crank it up like this. Ready? Okay. Okay. Now do this. Okay.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Keep on writing then. Some real stuff being typed out here. The Columbia River Gorge. I live in Portland. Oh, no kidding. Welcome, Chrissy. I am just trying to get some stuff. If you live in Portland, I am doing some sketching for Keen right now. So we're sketching all kinds of things from actually, hold on, do you know where this is? We'll see how good I am. See if this one is by a real Portlander. This one is a little bit less recognizable and less on point, I think. Right? It starts with D, if that helps at all. Okay, we're just gonna a little splatter here. I like how this is sort of fading out, so we are gonna be adding little bits. Hey, whoa, no. Nope. Okay, you gotta do one at a time. One letter at a time, okay? My toddler is, is it on the coast? It's not quite on the coast. There's a beer named after it, though. I think. Actually, I have no idea if there's a beer named after this place. But I think it is named after it. You had to go bing? That's the sound of the margins. In the most Portland move ever, my toddler is playing with a typewriter. Okay, a little bit here, and we're scooting over here. We're just kind of bringing in some of that color piece by piece. This I like, but I feel like it needs a little bit more texture, so there we go. And then we're just going to pull a little bit of this kind of dark treetops in here. Whoa, hey, gentle. No, Kippo. It goes away if we're not gentle with it. That is an old typewriter. It has been through some stuff. Deschutes. Yes, it is Deschutes. Ta-da! Good work. Okay, good. The amount of guesses make me concerned a little bit about how accurate I am, but that's a good. That I think we're good. I think we're gonna be okay. But sorry, I can't like let this go. Who is having a yes? Leighton is gonna be starting a travel journal. Everybody, we're gonna hold them to that. Just put it out there. Doesn't take it. All right. And here is. I will wipe off your sleeve, or I will let you wipe off your sleeve. Here you go. You want to wipe it off? I do have a garbage can. Yeah, you can just put it right on top right there. You can put it right on. My studio has been raided by the toddler. So this is what we're doing today. I've spent very little time in Central Oregon, sadly. Oregon's one of those places where there's so much, especially on like the coast, where you really like you can really spend so much time outdoors and never hit like Central or like Eastern Oregon. but it's like an entirely different landscape out there. It's so cool. Okay, a little bit up there, and we're just kind of adding just little bits of our trees. And this is the kind of one where I've actually got to be kind of careful because I don't want to add too much. Like the beauty of a little sketch like this is that it doesn't have too much in it. So the less kind of you add, the better. But it can be really add too much, especially if things are going well. So we're just going to start little by little here and then let it fade out if we can. Okay, you ready for me to read it for everybody? All right. Here is Kip's story. I wrote the first word. What is the story about?
It's about forever.
Here, why don't you come up here and explain it to me?
Forever.
Oh, it's about forever. Good. Well, Kip, I'm going to be making a story too. How did you do a cent sign? Fascinating. Kip, I'm going to be making a book, a picture book, starting on Tuesday. Does that sound good? Should we make our own picture book?
Yeah, my book is
Forever. Yeah, we did make that movie, didn't we? So we're going to make a picture book of the movie, actually. It's going to be really cool. This is the real gauge of what the book, like the book has to be good enough that he would be like, I'm into it. He's quite a connoisseur, and then the other piece is like, would I be willing to read it 15 or 20 times in a row? These are kind of the caveats that we're working with from the book. All right, there we go. A little bit on the shoots. And here we go. Nice, quick little sketch, but it should do the trick. Especially love these little rocks kind of in the middle there. I actually think I turned it quite well. All right, see you, Cup. Okay. Thank you. I will have fun working. Here is. Here's most of it. All right. So, this is the Chutes River. We'll add a couple more details to that. Let's finish up the Crumbly River Gorge, and then maybe we'll try to get some flowers in if I can. This will be a journey. With my grandmother's sketches, I was thinking it'd be kind of fun to like live stream that process. Is that something people would be interested in? Like I know my field trips have been a little bit all over the place, but but I think it's doable. If anybody would find that interesting enough, I can probably live stream like the process of trying to find some of those sketches. Like there's one in Portage that's pretty close. That could be kind of interesting. Because I feel like that's where it gets really fun. It's kind of that journey. There we go. We're just gonna add a little bit of green here. Maybe a couple little dots over here. Hello.
You mentioned something about hot cocoa at the duck pond to the boy?
Yes. I did. He said that you wouldn't give him hot cocoa. Sorry, this is Eve.
Tattling.
No, he was tattling. He said that you wouldn't give him hot cocoa,
Uh-huh.
which I said, sounds like we're not going to have hot cocoa. And then to keep him from tearing apart the studio, I said, why don't we have hot cocoa at the duck pond?
Mm.
So after this, I'll run to the duck pond with them with some hot cocoa, which is what we did that other time.
When are you planning to do that?
I was thinking like 5 or something, but I can go. Do we have anything going on tonight?
I was about to load the boys up and go on a meander.
Oh,
So,
you should do that. You should bring the hot cocoa.
Gosh, I feel like my arm's being twisted.
A little bit. He's not good. Like, well, I came in. He's like, "Do you have any hot cocoa?" I was like, "No." And then he like dug around. He's like, "I found hot cocoa."
I was gonna see if you wanted to come for bear protection.
Oh yeah. I need to finish
That's
Columbia River Gorge.
I'm gonna go. Well, you can just call when you're done. I'll tell you where we are.
Okay, bring a bear spray.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, and hot cocoa.
Yeah. Bye.
It is bear season, so people are seeing bear footprints at some of the connector trails. So it is the season where even in the city you walk around with bear spray, which would also work phenomenally well for like a mugger or something like that. Like I don't know why people carry guns when you could carry bear spray. You know, like if you shoot a bear or a person or something like that, they'll be more upset than they were. Whereas if you bear spray a bear or a person or anything, the only thing they'll care about is putting their eyeballs in dirt, and nobody's gonna eat anybody or mug anybody. Like even if you bear spray them and yourself, nobody's getting mugged. Everybody's upset. Nobody's gonna get seriously hurt. And then, sorry, this sounds like I'm in no way, shape, or form should anybody bear spray anybody else. I'm just saying, for like non-lethal deterrent, bear spray is as good as it gets. It's like a fire extinguisher of mace. Anyway, bear spray and hot cocoa. Yeah, gotta bring the basics. I would love to see a live stream on the field trips. Yeah, I think this would be a fun one. I think it'd be kind of cool to like capture those experiences of like what it's like to bring, yeah, I don't know, like bring people along on that journey. I think it'd be really fascinating. But also like, yeah, I feel like the journey somewhere is so much in the sketch. Like what I end up sketching is so often influenced by what I see and how I get there. Like, which one is it? Is it this one? It's not that one. Maybe it's this one. Is it this one? Nope. Is it this one? Nope. Do I have too many sketchbooks? Nope. Never have too many sketchbooks. It's gone somewhere. Anyway, often like the sketchbook itself, like when I'm flipping through a sketchbook, it is so driven by like the experiences and like all these little things. It'd be so cool to like share that itself. I live in Australia, no bears here. Yeah, but like you have everything else. Like sure, okay, you don't have the bears are the one thing that won't kill you there. But virtually everything else is terrifying. Oh my gosh, Australia. My grandma sketched there too. So at some point, I'll be heading there, looking for those sketches. Actually, let me show you. I think it's this one right here. Was this Australia? Yeah. This is, let's see, here's one of our sketchbooks from Australia. This is, that's Hawaii, probably. Let's see, that's Utah. Okay, this is Galapagos. Oh no, Melbourne Zoo. Okay, all right, we're in Milford Sound. It's Australia, right? Dunedin. I feel like Dunedin's tram ride from Port something. Christchurch. Okay, that's New Zealand. Bill speaking about geology as we sail it out. Fascinating. Yeah, anyway, I will be Wellington, also New Zealand. That's New Zealand for sure. Okay, anyway, some of these are Australia somewhere, but yeah, all of these eventually I'll have to like figure out. That was Australia. At some point, I'll have to figure out where these sketches are made so I can go to the same place and make the same sketch in the same place with the same materials. But maybe I'll need your help on the Australian ones because this is unlabeled. You know, like talk about a wild field trip. At some point, we're gonna have to find this red beach, sea aqua blue, water white. Oh, Sydney. Great. Okay. Somewhere near Sydney. This little sketch. I love how few lines there are to convey a specific location. And what's so cool about these, I mean, she's a very good sketcher. Like some of her stuff is really quite fancy, but like, you know, she'd just be doing these really quick little studies. And that's all you need. Like you don't need to do a really, really fancy thing. This is Lahaina. This is a place that burned down a lot, but this tree survived from what I understand. So I'd love to go back and sketch that. But she really like, yeah, it's a quick sketch. That's all you really need. It's like these little birds I've been drawing are just so fun because they're kind of so bad, but also so small. Do you like my small birds? And it's like there's something about how lovely and quick they are, and I am very, very, very excited about the idea of like, yeah, finding where she was and literally returning this sketchbook like back to exactly where it was, you know? Okay. How is this going? What I'm trying to do is kind of figure out the perfect range of what is painted in versus what is not painted in. I feel like I should have not quite painted in all of that, but it's gonna work out. When gotta take my dog for a walk, thanks for the stream. No worries, Silas. Looking forward to sketching with you, especially next week. No pressure, but we're gonna be painting like all day long, so we'll see. We'll see if you can keep up. Silas is like always painting along. It's awesome. Uh, especially like the seeing a young artist's style is just like really cool. Not anime, not quite. At some point I need to learn how to draw people, and I feel like anime people might be the easiest to learn how to draw, maybe, but there's like some serious skill in that. I love. Let's see. Oh my god, I love the small sketch with the little birds. Right? Little sketchbooks. They are phenomenal. You cannot go wrong with a little sketchbook. Got a little bit of purple going up here. I'm using a pretty colorful palette. They might not love this. I might have to be. I might be not have to. I might be asked to redo some of this. We're gonna find out. And I think I'm gonna avoid this little building right here, which is an interesting one on the gorge. My Portland, Oregon folks are gonna have to let me know if this is accurate-ish. I love your grandma's sketchbook. Quick sketches are a talent. My mind doesn't process that way. Mine either, really. Like, I'm not good at that quick kind of sketch thing, but I'm so glad that she was, because her sketches are so accurate. I'll be able to find where she was to like the foot, because she was just looking at the place. Like, she probably wasn't even looking at her book when she was doing that kind of stuff. It was like direct connection to the place itself, and it is so cool when you find out where they line up. We'll have to try one, at least one this summer. Maybe Portage. Maybe we'll head back to Portage, see if we can track one of those spots down. That's a pretty cool glacier area. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I'm overthinking this one is what I'm doing. We're just gonna use a bit of green as a way to kind of highlight and kind of cut through this tree a little bit in a cool way. Just like that. Oops, and then we're gonna use this. Maybe a bit of blue. And a little bit of blue over here, and then we're gonna kind of just fade it out. It's being used in a report, so the more kind of white space I can add, the better for kind of putting things in the margin, I believe. Or they'll hate it. I doubt it, but it is their right to choose. So we'll find out what they want. Okay, here's that. Okay. Yeah, Columbia River Gorge-esque. Columbia River Gorgeous, you might say. We'll see. I think I'm gonna add a touch up here, and then we'll see about the rest of this. I also made these tiny little shoes, but I don't know if I want to sketch those in right now. Do you like them? Isn't that fun? All right, let's add a little bit of this in here. Let's finish this one up. Let's call it sooner than later. Because the first half of painting is to make it, and the second half is to ruin it. So we do not want to get into the second half if we can help it. Okay, here we go. So here's a little bit right there. And we're just going to pull some of this up and over. And if it doesn't make sense, the beauty of this is I can always just fill it fully in. Yeah, like that, I don't think totally works. In the outdoors, which I find actually works a lot better, the beauty is that it is just the like nature that sort of forces you to stop. You know, you'll be like painting and it's like, well, and now it's raining, and you just stop, and like that's where you stop. And now there's some little paint splatters of the rain, and it's cool, and that's kind of what's so fun about it. This is kind of just me like trying to make that feel look like how it is. All right. Okay, there we go. I'll give that a try. Maybe I should kind of put some trees coming up here. Maybe I shouldn't. Not totally sure. I might just also add a little bit of some pencil lines on this thing and then let them kind of fade down or in. Maybe we'll just put some pen lines too. Maybe we'll just do a little bit of that, like this. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like where some of this is going. I'll do a cat book. Oh, you should do a cat book. Yeah, the bird book. I figured because like there's all kinds of birds. I should just do like a little tiny animal book. Okay, little. The problem is like I feel like when I do these books where I'm like I'm gonna do this in like the specific style and I'll get it a quarter way done. I don't feel like I can switch tack halfway through, and then I'll kind of be stuck into it, and then often I kind of give up. But if you do a cat book, you should stick with it. That'd be sweet. Okay, right in here, and that should be plenty. Okay, well there we go. Columbia River Gorge. Kind of sticking to like the half-drawn feel. What do you think? Are we done? I don't love it. I don't love what's happening up there. Let's give that some more color. Let's put a little bit more. There we go. Kind of get that shadowy feel going on over there. Okay, we'll give this a try. At least I'll scan it, I'll send it over, and the cool thing about this is you can always just add more color. Like that beauty of that is like you can always kind of tack more color in. It works like that. So here we go. There is try number 1. We'll give that a try in just a second. Here is try number 2, and this one. Put a little bit of this and this. Maybe over here we'll add just a couple little sticks. Doesn't take much. Ta-da! All right. Smart kid and his cat. All right. I think this is it for today. There we have Deschutes and Columbia River Gorge. I'll scan them and see what I think. Might change up both of them. We'll see what they think too. But if you are around, I'll be sketching tomorrow as well. But on Tuesday of next week, it's the book. We're doing the book. We're gonna book it. It's gonna be very booky. It's I don't know how many times I need to say it before like my brain sinks in that like we're going to do this, but maybe it won't happen until we're actually doing it and set. But we have a typewriter, we have paper. I'm just gonna get a fresh book. We're gonna just sketch it from start to finish, and then however long it takes, starting on Tuesday until it's done. So I'm very, very, very excited. Describe the picture with a bottom line. With a bottom line, like down here. Describe the picture with a bottom line. I don't know what that means. Awesome work. Wish you had a great day with Coco. We will be having a great day. Yes, I'm going to bring some Coco. I think we're going to the duck pond. I was going to do it. Oh, very good. I am, okay, I think I'm gonna head out. This has been super fun, but yeah, tomorrow I'll be up and running. Let me know if there's anything that we need to paint in particular. I think I'll be doing flowers otherwise, but I look forward to sketching, and then soon. So these, I am committed to doing kind of one of these a week if I can, especially on Fridays. We'll see if I can pull one off this Friday, but this is like one that we did a little while ago. They're very big. They're very big pictures because of the fact that they're, you know, on a giant accordion notebook. But Anyway, maybe this Friday too we can do one of those if you think that would be interesting. Kind of a cool landscape, maybe somewhere. We'll see. But yeah, these have been super fun, and they're kind of what I use for my notebooks now. Sorry, here's the this. So this is what I've been doing. Like here's the Girdwood one. Sorry, this is not easy to see, is it? Here's the Girdwood one, but like it's very long. Here's the Girdwood one. And where is my other one? That's not it. That's not it. Is this it? No, this is the Bellingham one. We've been doing some really fun stuff with these. Like it's this and then everything in between is all the stories of how I got there. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like would be kind of fun to live stream. You know, like you start somewhere and then it's all these like little experiences piece by piece that are kind of fun to check in on until you end up with like some really big book. But yeah, the format accordion sketchbooks are really, really fun. I've been so scared of them for so long, and I'm just getting into them now, and I am obsessed, like absolutely obsessed. Make a book, dude, please. Okay, I'll do it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Tuesday, gonna be great. I'll also be on tomorrow and the others. All right, I'm gonna say adieu to YouTube. Thanks so much for stopping by, and then